Welcome everybody to a straight shoot, quick shoot. Today we're going to be talking all things Roman Reigns. Most importantly, the problem with Roman Reigns. We are, you and I, we both love Roman Reigns. We acknowledge the Trible Chief, but we also acknowledge that there are some problems with the way that he's being booked, the way that he's being presented to the audience. And as much as we love God mode, there's more that we want to see, and they're just not giving it to us on a week-to-week basis. Steve, I'll let you carry this conversation. How do you feel about the Chief?
Listen, Santi, like you just said, I am the first to say I acknowledge Roman Reigns from being the biggest Roman hater back after the Shield split. I it was something said on AEW on a promo the other day about John Moxley being the number 3 in the group, and I thought forever that Roman was the number 3. The big dog was never the big dog, and when they split, I couldn't stand him. Now the work he's doing, the promos he's cutting are fantastic. I love the bloodline. I like everything about it, but I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a sports entertainment fan. And my biggest thing is I want to see the world title every week. I want it defended every week. Yeah, I remember the days of Kurt Angle holding the title. I remember the days of The Rock and Jericho always, and Hunter always having the titles on them on the show and just making it feel relevant. The only time that the title feels relevant, and I hate to say it right now, is during Roman's walk to the ring. Like, even when he's standing in the ring, it's just Roman cutting a promo, and the titles don't even feel like they're there because Roman acknowledges Roman. Roman doesn't acknowledge the title, and it's almost just like it's a secondary thing that Roman is bigger than the title, and no one's bigger than the title. The reason that you're in the business is for the title. And it's almost like the IC and the US title have more relevance now in the last month than the US or the what do they call it now? The WWE
Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion.
Sure. Whatever. It's not relevant. It's just Roman is relevant, and the streak that he's on and the length of time he's held the title. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'd like to see how long this could go, but I want the titles to mean something.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that streak, I was the one beating the drum, 8 months ago saying, I want this to go on for 1,000 days. But that was when we were having Roman Reigns on every pay-per-view. He was having matches on Friday Night SmackDown on a regular basis, whether it was one-on-one matches or matches with the Usos, or if he wasn't having a match, he was getting physical in some way, shape, or form, helping the Usos. Nowadays, we're lucky to get Roman on pay-per-view, right? Because we only seem to be getting him for major pay-per-views these days. We went basically what we consider to be a major pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. He didn't even participate in that. But we basically are now relegated to Roman appearing on SmackDown every other week. And when he does appear, it's for a backstage segment or a promo. All right, we don't get him being physical anymore, and it's never even a foregone conclusion whether or not we're gonna get him in a premium live event, and that kind of sucks, like, because we love Roman so much. We want to see more of Roman. I would have loved this reign to go 3,000 days if we were having him actually defend and show up with the titles on a week-to-week basis. It's not just fans that think this. We see WWE superstars throwing jabs at Roman Reigns on a regular basis. Becky Lynch being the best at it. It seems like every pay-per-view Becky Lynch is tweeting out something hilarious, taking shots at Roman Reigns, like, who did the 2 belts better, Becky or Roman? And Becky replies, me, because I actually showed up every week. Like, it's true. It's true. And it's been almost like a tale of two halves since WrestleMania. We've just been getting less Roman. It's just funny because, like, the way you solve this problem is give us more Roman. Like, we are consumers, and you have a product, and we are asking for more of that product. That you should be printing money by putting this guy on our screens. And I get it. I as somebody that on Wrestle Talk refuses to join lives and people want me to join lives, there is this aura of like, when you don't give somebody what they want, you wanted more. I get it. I absolutely get it. But this is kind of the equivalent of McDonald's not giving us the Big Mac, because this is their main set of titles, their top guy. Right? This aura works with the likes of Brock Lesnar's, with the Goldbergs, the guys who are part-timers, the John Cena's. People are clamoring for a John Cena return, and that works because, you know, he's not something. He's the McRib, all right? It comes and goes. But Roman is the Big Mac. He needs to be a staple of the business, not an auxiliary piece of the product that is used to as a building tool. He is the building, and he should be treated as such, and we're not getting it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I go back to the promo between John Cena and Roman Reigns where John annihilated Roman. But
It's a
one of the
promo,
things,
kid.
yeah, it's a promo, kid. You're gonna have to learn how to do it. Well, this man learned how to do a promo. But the one thing he did say in that promo is that John Cena was a part-time and two-time and bitch. Guess what, Roman? You're a part-time and bitch, and nobody is happy with it. You need to go back and realize that Roman back then was not that good at what you were doing. You are so much better at it now. Prove it to us. Show up on Raw. Show up at a pay-per-view. Even if it's to help your cousins like you were or whatever, like, it's just so difficult that the world title isn't on Raw. That's what hurts me. You like the world SmackDown was never the number one show to me. And now they are trying to make SmackDown the number one show just because of their deal that they're getting more for SmackDown. Okay, you got both titles over there, but they're doing nothing at all. Just they're sitting on a couch. Put them in the ring, hit somebody with one, separate them.
Separate them. There's your solution. Right there, you separate them. No one is saying you can't have Roman be a part-timing champion. We've had that before. We've had Brock Lesnar, quote unquote, hold the Universal title hostage. And that was almost okay because we had the WWE title. We had something else to main event shows. We had another fighting champion there ready to go to fill the void. We don't have that because he has both titles. We don't have that secondary world champion that we can rely on a week-to-week basis. It's, you know, you put all of your eggs in this one basket, and this basket is nowhere to be seen.
Santi, can you imagine a UFC card with no title on it or no title defense?
Yeah.
And we're getting this religiously in another combat sport in pro wrestling. We're getting this from the biggest shows, and it's so difficult because even when he does show up to a minor pay-per-view, he's not defending there either. So the realism is merging the titles together didn't work. We need to separate the titles. I think we're in consensus with that. My next question is how? Because we're coming up to what WWE is trying to bill as a potential future in Europe for potentially a WrestleMania with Clash at the Castle. This is going to be a WrestleMania size event. It's going to be over 4 hours long. Okay. How can you, this was my first thought because Roman is going into two feuds right now. He's going into one with Cross, one with Drew. Can you just not book Roman at SmackDown this week saying, you know what? Drew wants the WWE Championship. Cross, he wants the Universal title. Roman, you get 2 matches at Clash. Start of the show and end of the show. There you go. Separate the titles. Simple, easy booking. Roman doesn't have to lose both. Or Roman wins both, and then he is back to Raw and SmackDown. But from what I've read, Roman's contract is a shortened contract. He's only got to show up so much. It's almost like guaranteed money in WCW, sorry.
Yeah, it's one of those problems that on paper has a super simple solution, But in reality and in practice, it's not as simple as that, because there's a contract in place. Even though, you know, we're clamoring for more Roman, if the, you know, the cross T's and the dotted I's say that, you know, no, he doesn't have to be at these shows, there's nothing really that we can do about it. But there is something that the WWE can do about it, and that's just to make him a special attraction without the material that is supposed to be held by the person that is helping, you know, that is pushing the show forward on a week-to-week basis. He can be a special attraction a la Brock Lesnar, and people are going to care. Absolutely, 100%. He's at that point. But when you're holding the titles hostage alongside that reduced schedule, it's going to raise animosity, and that's animosity that we don't want to have, because we love Roman Reigns and we love what he's doing. We love the reinvention of his character, how he's turned his career completely upside down in a good way. So it's a situation where we're kind of nitpicking, because like our problem is that we're not getting enough we're not getting enough, right?
Yep.
But I think it's also a very fair concern for us to have as wrestling fans, that what we are asking for isn't a special attraction. What we're asking for is the top star in the business, and the top star in the business cannot be a special one-off attraction. They need to be a workhorse, in my personal opinion. They need to be there in every show. If it's not every house show, every televised show, the championship should be there.
It's kind of funny because you look at the Universal title, right? And the only two champions that have been the workhorse champions were, one, Finn Balor, right? And unfortunately, he didn't get his chance, but he was going to be that workhorse champion with the Universal title, right? Other is Kevin Owens. And when Kevin Owens had the Universal Championship, he was great with it. Oh, sorry, Bray Wyatt as well. Bray Wyatt as well. Other than that, most of the Universal champions that we've had have been these specialty champions, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, that kind of thing. Roman kind of falling in that, so just let Roman be that with the Universal Championship. Let him show up on Raw whenever. Let him show up on SmackDown. Go to Survivor Series. Go against the WWE champion, that whoever that is. Give the WWE title that should be defended on both shows and every pay-per-view every time to Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Karrion Kross,
John Cena. I'm just kidding.
You just ruined that, because I was about to say Matt Riddle. But like, give somebody who wants to be there and do the jobs the ability to do it. Give them the reward, because really these guys who are busting their ass every week, granted, some of them don't need it. A la AJ Styles. AJ Styles doesn't need a title. He comes out there, puts on a banger of a match all the time, and people recognize his skill and quality, right? But the people that I just named, they deserve it, because they are. Do you think Tony Khan comes and knocks on Seth Rollins' door and is going to go, I'm going to give you $3 million a year. Do you want to come to AEW? He's going to be like, no, I'm a WWE guy. And the people that I just named are all WWE guys. So give a WWE guy. I'm not saying Roman isn't. He's just part-timing. Give a WWE guy that wants to work the WWE title. That's all we need to do.
All right, Steve, where can people find you?
Guys, you can find me on twitch.tv/Mr. Tesh. As of next week, I will be on a 3-week hiatus, but and you can also find me on all the Straight Shoot platforms. Check the link in our link tree in our bio there, and you can find me everywhere.
I was holding a sneeze. I was holding a sneeze for the better part of 10 minutes, and I thought I was going to get away with it, and I didn't. It just hit me there at the very end of the episode. You can find me over at twitch.tv/SantiZap, streaming there 5 to 6 times a week. The link is in the description below. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Straight Shoot Quick Shoot, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.